continue to break the rules. The reason being is rule breakers make history on both sides. I would also tell my younger self that your voice is worth being heard. You just may not be in the right rooms yet.
Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Oh, you know who got the motion? What we talking about? Woo! Hold up. I'm with that. We gonna get a little bit. What? You watching Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Ooh, wait. I said, y'all know who got the motion. I said, y'all know who got the emotion. Oh man! Shouts out. That was Mona Cole, MWTM, aka Moni with the Motion, on all your DSPs. That's on her latest album, The Motion. Shouts out to Mona Cole. Shouts out to Paid to Breathe. Get that now. Get your money with the motion. Woo! You are watching Hats Off with your boy G Dash Jones. Oh, today. When I tell you about our guest today, when I say she does all the things, when I say all the things, I mean, literally, if we talking about getting money, I say, if we talking about getting money, making moves with money, all the things you got to talk about my guest today. I'm talking about team building success. Say what? Yes. Team building success, surefire walk. What? Yes. When I'm talking about GO.A.T financial, right? So when you think about financial, greatest of all time. Listen, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You see, I didn't time it that way. She just happens to come on the screen when I describe what the greatest of all time is. That has nothing to do with me. Okay, that's just her being her. Okay, I just work here, people. Okay, I don't know what you want me to tell you, but yes, please me, Miss Alicia Cooper-Wells, y'all. Woo! How are you today?
Good.
Big smiles. How you feeling? You
I'm
good?
good. I'm excited to be here with you.
Yes, I'm excited to have you. So tell people a little bit about yourself in case there's some things they may not know.
All right. Well, my name is Alicia Cooper-Wells. I'm known as Miss Cooper Home Loans. I'm a wife, a mother, and as he's mentioned, a serial entrepreneur. I'm all about making sure that people have access. A lot of times people think GOAT stands for greatest of all times, but it's really about getting others access to tools. And that's what we do by providing them with capital.
Yes. I'm gonna see. She ain't gonna like. I'm gonna say it anyway. That's why she the GOAT. Okay, because if you give other people access to tools, then you the greatest of all time. See, it's a double entendre. Don't ask me how. Okay, we got entendres today. Okay, say hello with the entendres. Now, I want to take it back a little bit, right? Because you do a lot with finance, and you do a lot, with helping people further that. How'd you get into this journey of finance?
So I'm going to talk about the key. So I wear this key around my neck. I believe key stands for knowledge empowers you. It's also my grandmother's house key. So I walk with a charge and a responsibility to help people reach their financial goals. And I've always been jumping in people's business. Like, girl, ain't nobody asked you, because I just always want to help people get better. And I believe that's where my journey really started. But I started as a bank teller, working my way up as a single mom, trying to figure this thing out. And I had an opportunity to buy my first house when everybody told me my life was over, right? That, if I bought a house, I was going to have to give up my food stamps. I was going to have to give up my child care. And I took that risk. And I don't want to shy away from the word risk, because it could have ended up differently. I was not, that dollar raise that I took in order to be able to buy a house was not enough to make up the difference of childcare was not a difference to make up the difference in medical. It was not a difference. And just some of the peace of minds that I had taken for granted living in subsidized housing at that time. But it was the gateway that I believe that when I took that leap, again, I have a charge that it shows other people they can take the leap too. And that allowed me to enter into owning a home and then becoming a landlord and really taking the journey on how do we get to the money, right? So being in the bank, I learned how to become a mortgage lender, starting my own mortgage company, and just leading with the responsibility that I can help you reach your goal.
Okay, now hold on, cause I want to know. So they come at you. The world's like, listen now, if you go to get this, if you take this raise, yeah, you gonna be a homeowner, but you gotta give up life. You ain't gonna make it. What made you say, I don't care what y'all talking about, we about to win? Like, what made you dive in?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what made me say it. I other than I've been a risk taker. I'm the rebel. I'm a maverick. But I didn't believe that if I failed, I didn't think I could fall any lower than where I was at that time anyway. So why not take the leap to see where it might land me? And here I am today.
Wow. Okay. And now, with that said, once you took that leap, how did you avoid it from landing you where everybody else said it would, or from falling into that pitfall?
So one was I was open to a lot of criticism because I invited in a lot of help. And I think when we're taking risk, often we'll try to isolate ourselves and do it by ourselves because we don't want to face the embarrassment that might be associated with the failure. But I would have definitely failed if I had not brought in a community to help me. I didn't have childcare anymore. So I needed to be verbal about the fact I need somebody to help me watch my son. I had to be verbal about the assistance, but that came with the judgment, right? My parents like, yo, if we watching this baby, you can't hang out for happy hour. You got to come on home. So, there was a transition. I was young, 20 years old, trying to, do I make these sacrifices? And, being ridiculed on not having living room furniture. We were eating off a card table and, not buying curtains. We had blinds. So there was a lot of sacrifices. And I do believe it was something in me. But I had some really great role models that were both in my life and outside of my life, and role models from both angles. Where I was living, where I was walking by every day was an example of what would happen if I didn't leave. And I believe those are role models too. And then I had the role models of what success could look like if I was willing to continue with the sacrifice.
Ooh. You in the back, by the way. If you're watching this, you just happen to be in the back. Understand that sometimes people giving the wrong examples are role models. The lesson that you're taking is to not do that. Okay? Like, it's okay to take the lesson that says, don't want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It comes with some extra discipline, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's but it winds up being a blessing in the end. What would you say was the hardest thing about fighting through to be stable in that space?
The loneliness.
Mm.
When you're making decisions that are not popular, you are often faced with a lot of loneliness. People die from loneliness a lot when you're like, how? People are always around you. Yeah, there was a lot of people around me, but they were constantly feeding me with the fact that, why would I do that? Why would you buy a house when you could live here and your rent was only going to be $300? We didn't have a utility bill. It sounds crazy. Like it all still sounds crazy. Like, man, why did I make that decision? But now I'm going to tell you why. Someone shot on my steps. The good and bad examples my son was seeing, the good and bad examples I was seeing, the lessons that I was learning along the way of, I can't even hire my car if I can't afford it. The repo man can just come get it from out of here, right? So there were things, and I make light of it now, but I knew that it was an opportunity for better. And I knew I couldn't get better all in one step. And I think that's where people mess up, that you think you have to get better in all in one step. Because I literally bought a house around the corner. So I'm technically in the same neighborhood, right? So I didn't buy my dream home first. I bought a home right around the corner, but it let me see that I needed to work on some being more responsible myself. And I had to eat the fact I wasn't teaching my son how to be responsible, because we both were relying on the maintenance man to fix if we got coins caught in our washing machine in the house. So that tells you I had a nice subsidized apartment, right? I had a washing machine inside. So that was hard to give up. I didn't even have laundry in the house we were moving into. So there was the willingness to be inconvenienced. But I knew in my gut, I had anchors, I had my faith in God to know that if I stayed consistent, he was not going to let me down. And it didn't mean that along the way, I didn't feel like he was letting me down, but he didn't let me down.
That is that now, but now I'm a big fan of this, and I'm a big proponent of this, and I want people to understand that faith, and I don't get on this soapbox often on my show, but I'm gonna get on it right now. Faith ain't something that occurs when everything is right. Right? It's not like, oh, it's real easy to have faith when life is good. Okay. But the question comes with the faith when it's like, hold up, wait a minute. Okay. Will we survive today? That's when the faith gotta be on 10. You know what I'm saying? In that, you know what? And I will ask this. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. The times when you was like, look, you still doing it for me? How did you keep that faith to continue with the journey as opposed to going back?
So I am a person that believes that I'm doing it for more than me. If I was doing it just for me, I would have quit. I'm being honest. But the fact that I knew I was doing it for more than just me, I was doing it for my son, I was doing it for my siblings, I was doing it for my parents, I was doing it for my grandparents. It was very important for me to remain on the mission. And I do believe God sent me signs and peace that I couldn't understand along that way. You know, a girlfriend might decide, and this is a literal story, you know, it was dark, it was bleak. And my one girlfriend was like, hey, I got an additional $50 in food stamps. You need anything? You know, it wasn't the miracles of a car pulling up or someone just gave me a house. It was the little things to let me know I'm still there. I got you. And I'm happy I made the sacrifices when it was small, but yet the hardest.
Yes. Again, just so y'all know, that's how it looked. Okay. Don't ever think. Please don't think that it looked like, hey Lord, help me out. Bag of money just fall in my lap. No, that's not. Listen, that's not. All of a sudden, it's raining gold coins. What happened? No, stop it. Don't do that to yourself. Okay, you're gonna be so mad. Don't do that. Please don't do that to yourself. All right, now, okay, so let's say here. Okay, so we're at this space, right? You got the crib, right? You got the house. You're figuring it out, and then you said, I think I want to run my own business. Or like, how did you get there with your financial understanding? What made you want to then seek ownership yourself?
So, I don't like following other people's rules. So I got into it for the wrong reasons. I thought I could do it better. That's really what happened. I was like, I really think I can do this better. And I realized that it was my job to be a translator. So most of the clients I was working with, they looked like me because people often work with people they know, like, and trust. But my friends didn't speak bank. So they would come in filling out applications all wrong and no one there to translate what they're trying to say into an application. And at the bank, because I was this translator, I was making money. I was making good money. But then I'm like, I'm making this good money for somebody else who doesn't even care about these people. So I can do this for myself. I can sign up with lenders. I can become the bridge in between the translator and then the rest. I'm gonna be honest. I had really great managers, owners that I worked for who really pushed me to start my own. Hey, Alicia, you can do it. And I'm like, nah, not yet. I want to make employee money, right? Like I don't want to all the responsibilities. I want to go home, have fun. But then I realized that that was the next part of my charge is I didn't want to just help people become employees. I wanted to help them start their own companies. So who had to do it first? Me. I started my own, showing people how simple it is, but not easy. And then as time went on, hey, if you want to do it too. So there's no gatekeeping here on how to do it. And that's what our Biz Fund Academy is about.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, so when you started Go Financial,
Mm-hmm.
what was your leading product, the Biz Fund
So
Academy?
Go Financial started with my leading products being helping business owners get access to capital. So I was my own top performer first, right? I'm doing it. I'm connected with business owners. I'm helping them fix their own personal credit, build legit business credit. And really diving in. I am a nerd, so I read, I follow the trends. I ended up after buying my first house, going to school and getting my degree in business administration and finance. I'm an economist. So I learned a lot of things that I think helped me be able to have the general idea and then because I think that's what college teaches us, the general idea. And then I could take that general information and apply it in my real business. So I knew kind of what was coming down the line because I had this general idea. I knew there were going to be struggles with payroll. I knew small businesses tend to fail really quickly if they don't have good personal credit themselves or have somebody as a credit partner. And in the bank, even when I was a bank teller, I have a really great relationship with a client, and then they would apply and then we would let them know that they were denied. And I'm like, man, they come in every week, they bring us all their money. What are they doing wrong? But often, because most business owners are solopreneurs, they're doing it on their all on their personal credit, and they've been told the lie that they shouldn't ask for help unless they need it. So now they bootstrapped and now they're over leveraged and they're like, oh, I need help now. But the banks aren't in business to help you when, oh, I need help now, because guess what? They have your paycheck. Do you want me to take your paycheck and give it to somebody else who's drowning? No. So you have to come to them before you're drowning. You got to come to them in the good days and have the discipline to save those funds for the rainy days.
Again, hey, sorry, you in the back. Yeah. So do me a favor, all right? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, no, tuck your ego. Okay, tuck it. Okay, you better ask them people for help. Okay, you better ask them people for help. Why? I'm gonna tell you, because she just said it. Because she just said they ain't trying to help you. You already drowning. Now you sitting there like, hey, by the way, you know this water was way up here. Listen. Okay, they want to see that you're responsible enough to catch it. Okay, and then maybe it can be worked out. Just saying. Okay. Just saying. Tuck the ego, because that's a part of it. Okay. Now, so now you're helping these people in this lending world. You're helping people kind of figure it out through these, getting capital, these businesses, and then you say, you know what? I think I want to just start the academy. You know what? Maybe I can do groups at a time. Or how did that happen? What made you then say, let's go with this Biz Fund Academy?
So Biz Fund Academy was actually birthed during COVID. So during that time when I wasn't actually meeting with people as much, I decided, hey, why don't I teach people how to get the money themselves, right? Cut out the broker, be your own finance company, even if you don't get other clients, just for yourself. So you're not paying these high broker fees. You can go directly to the lenders. Now, I had already been a person about teaching, has certifications, taught at the real estate school. So I am into edutainment, which is education and entertainment at the same time. I like to know why things happen and how they work. And even though, girl, ain't nobody asked you, I thought others may want to know too. So that's where during COVID, because they were home, I was home, and let's learn how to do this thing.
Okay. Now, what was it like to kind of build that business? Like, granted, you already had the knowledge of training, but now you're expanding in this to a whole nother stream, right? What was and again, and when you were training before, it wasn't yours, right? It was you going into, now you have to have your own curriculum. What was that journey like?
So I have had a business coach the majority of my career. I started with a business coach when I first moved from being a bank teller to a loan officer. And it was actually a suggestion of my business coach. And then I ended up getting a business consultant who was the one who actually designed the curriculum from my idea. So full transparency, shout out to Tamara Varela. Manifest Consulting is who really turned it into what it is today. So I can't say what it looked like because I had an idea, but I had the right people and I paid for a coach who was like, yo, you're at the point where you need to be in the LeBron James is cool, but you're getting older, right? Teach some other people how to do this thing.
Yes. Again, in the back. This one's quick. Get help. See that happen? See how quick that was? Like, there's a running theme at this point in this conversation of getting the right help, not assuming that you have to do it yourself. All right, now, so now you got, so now you got Go Financial. People are getting financed, and the money's coming for the businesses. You, actually, I will say, why did you zone in on small businesses, even with Biz Fund Academy, versus, because you were already in the real estate market? You probably could have easily just went straight for real estate training in the knowledge base for that. What made you go to business?
So I'm happy you say that because the truth is I went to real estate. And I realized many of the small business owners I was working with could not get real estate loans. They needed to first get a business loan so that they would have the funds necessary to get a real estate deal. So Biz Fund Academy is unique in the space that we teach both real estate and commercial financing as well as business financing in the same course. We're the only one that does that. So, because if you look like me or come from a background like me, you probably don't have a family member who can write you a check for 20% down. So you need to be able to get a business loan to help you acquire that real estate.
Okay, hold on now. See, again, but if you're watching this, this hats off with your boy G Dash Jones. Do me a favor, grab a shovel, because it's just gems being dropped around. I want you to get them in bulk. Okay, just get them in bulk. Okay, just gems around here. And when they say it takes money to make money, that's one of those examples. But that's one of those examples that you don't know until you're already in the world, in the business world. And a lot of times those pitfalls wind up getting in the way. What are some of the common things that you wind up having to show business owners, like that lesson? What are some of the other common things that you wind up having to explain and check in?
Well, the biggest one was the first one, asking for help too late. That's the first one. Another one is that you have to have some type of collateral. And we call it the 3 R's. Do you have revenue that's consistent? Do you have receivables, which is your contracts, or do you have real estate? And having one of those 3 will usually get you access to financing. And if you don't have a business yet, because a lot of small business owners are still at what we call the hobby phase, then you're going to need to have good personal credit because you don't have a proven model.
Mm, mm. Listen, shovel, get them. Okay, just Jim, get them gems now. Now, and I want to move on, but I gotta ask this one more question about this. What you deal with when they hard headed? Because a lot of business owners, right? And shouts out to all my business owners. You know I love y'all, but a lot of times entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur myself. A lot of times the ego is there, right? And now you're showing them and they think that they know. Okay. What's that like for you when it's like, yo, you about to dig a money hole here? Like, what are we talking about?
So where I am now in my business, I don't deal with that because you come to me as an alternative. I'm the alternative lender. It's after you've gotten denied by the bank. It's after your feelings have been hurt. So usually when they come to us, they're a lot more humble than when they probably first walked into the bank with the big chest, like, hey, I've been depositing my check here. I know y'all won't give me a loan. And now they're like, no, we'll send you a letter in the mail within 3 to 5 business days on why we've denied you. So now I come in as the alternative lender after they face that. So they're a lot more open to actually having the conversation for us to be able to put together the narrative together and for me to be the translator because I speak bank. That's what I teach in my academy, how to speak bank. So I'm still going to talk to you just like we're talking now, but when I'm talking to the bank, I'm able to translate what your goals are, what you're looking for, and also the willingness to get started. So just like I didn't get to buy my dream home first, you're probably not going to get the $100,000 loan first. You're going to have to get a small loan, show yourself approved, and, another lesson is that I think a lot of people get caught up in credit scores, not acknowledging that credit is really an example of character. And it's, do you pay based on the agreed upon terms or do you pay when you want to? And the other side of it is we know things happen. No one's looking for you to carry a perfect credit score. There's lates, things happen, you lose your job, but what happened is a big thing, right? What we call extenuating circumstance? So that means it's something that's not going to keep happening. You might have got sick. You might have lost your job. And then the second part of that is, how did you rebound? So did you just say, F it, tuck it away, I'm never paying? Or did you communicate with the creditor and let them know, hey, I lost my job. Can we modify the loan? Can we come up with all other alternatives on how I can pay you back?
Ooh, listen, you better jot that down because what did you do? Okay, what you do to get there? And what you do when you got there? Okay, what did you do? That's all I'm asking. Hey, what you do? Because if you can't explain that, don't ask me for my money.
and that's the thing when people, because you mentioned ego a couple times, and I like to use that as an analogy. If I came to you, never met you before, and asked you for $50,000, you would want the blood of my firstborn. They're not asking you for the blood of your firstborn. They're asking to see how well did you pay somebody else back. And also, why doesn't no one want to help you, right? If your credit's bad and you can't get a credit partner, why your mama don't want to sign no more? You don't pay her back on time? Like, if we really take it down to the basis of character, because you've probably met people that you don't know, but you get a feel of their character and you really want to help them. But if your character is saying, yo, you beat, I don't want to work with you.
Ooh, absolutely. I don't like to work with people with their character feel like, oh, no, I can't do that. Okay, that's a fact. And I think that's important to know. And one of the things that I want to highlight even in this conversation is most banks are not inherently predatory, right? And I think that some people get into this thing that they try and get over. No, they're not. No, they're not. They just wanted to know, would you pay them back? Okay? Like, sir, and this is going to sound crazy, but most of the time it's like, you don't make enough money for them to get over on you the way you think that they could. Like, that's just not situation that
Or you only qualify for predatory because you pay predatory, right? You decide to pay when you want to pay, not based on the agreed terms. So I'm going to have my confession. Before I bought my house, I used to pay my phone bill before it got cut off. So that meant I was probably a month, maybe 2 months behind. I was not paying that phone bill based on the agreed terms to pay it every month by the 6th.
Mhm, mhm. If you ride the wave of a grace period, then there's some things that could come with that you're not paying attention to now you're asking them to make a character judgment. You forgot what goes into that. Super important. Again, get a shovel. There are gyms around. Now, okay, right. Okay, so now you're getting people's business together. You're getting them placed inside of places and set up. And then you said, I need to go inside of some of these businesses. I want to go inside. I want to help the teams gel. I want to help people get more focused. Hand me some hot coals. We about to take a walk. How did you how does that happen? Like, what was that experience like starting this whole surefire walk section
So
of the business?
I wish it started the way you said. I really do. But it really happened from hurt. I had a business partner, we had a split, and I was in a dark place. We were making a lot of money, things were going really well, and I didn't expect the bottom to fall out the way it did. And I needed mindset coaching myself. So I went, and during this happened actually at the tail end of COVID, and I was seeking coaching. Like I said, I'm a big person. I've always had a coach. I was looking into Tony Robbins, and I saw that he did fire walks, and unfortunately, he wasn't doing any during COVID. And I'm like, man, what do I do? So then I looked up who taught Tony Robbins how to do this. And I actually became a firewalk instructor. So I got trained on how to become a firewalk instructor, teach mindset, become a mindset coach. So it was out of my own pain that led me to wanting to get out of my dark place and work on the mindset piece and work on it really related to business. But I had to break through the traumas of hurt. If you've ever experienced a breakup, a divorce, a split with a business partner, it hurts, and you'll be like, I'm never trusting no one again. And I had to battle through the trust as I was taking my class to get certified. I was the person when it was time to break an arrow with my trait, signed up first. Let me do it. I'm there. I can kill it. Break a board. I got it. Break a brick. I got it. But when it came to, listen to this, standing on a 6-foot ladder and falling back like you're in cheerleading camp, I cried like a baby and had to step down and let everybody else go. I didn't believe the people behind me could catch me. And I'm like, yo, they little people. Like, how they gonna catch me? And I had to learn how to trust again. And that also took me back to I wasn't trusting God, that God won't let me fall. He didn't let me fall back then. So my struggle, like I said, was now we got the money. Things are happening. It's great. I wasn't seeking God in that. And I could not trust this person that I had put my faith in. Let me down, and I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And finally, with having a coach, they coached me up to be able to get on that ladder and to fall back and to let everyone catch me and realize that I'm not too big, that I can count on others. Others can hold me up just like I can hold them up and support them too. So that is how my mindset journey began. Now I've done over 140 fire walks. I walk on broken glass. And we do a lot of the board break exercises with companies and corporations to help people break through traumas, to break through being stuck, stagnant in their business. But it's really my heart. I've been through it that allows me to go through.
Ooh. Okay, now again, in the back, you see, I know what you're thinking, right? People think you're thinking that the hurt and the interpersonal hurt comes from romantic relationships, and it can. It can also come from family. It can come from community. It can come from racial stuff. It can come from church hurt, and it can come from business. There's all types of reasons that get in the way. But once you start to identify them, you get your focus on it. You start to doing different things. Now, I'm gonna ask you this because to me that's interesting. So now you're walking on the coals. So when you're instilling something in these people, right? To walk on the fire, right? To walk to without burning their feet, right? Because some they little tender footed.
If you've ever seen me out, I wear some bad shoes, some crazy heels. My feet are just fine, and I walk on a lot of coals.
So how do you get people over those moments, the moments of the fear of walking on fire, the moments of the fear of falling to trust? Like what are some of the ways that you kind of can help people with that?
So we do exercises first, right? Some of the exercises may simply be, who do you want to be on the other side? Who do you want to see on the other side? What are you allowing this trauma to stop you from becoming?
I got quiet there because somebody else need to answer that in their head. Like somebody who's watching this right now, they need to answer that question in their head. Okay? So listen, I ain't even gonna say it again. Rewind this moment back after it's played, but you need to answer that. Okay? Who you yeah. So and now when people have these breakthroughs, because you're in a space where people are going through emotional moments, they're reliving things that can break them through. How do you help them to get to that other side without getting lost in their own brain cycle?
So I don't think I actually do anything. It's really already inside of you. It's just asking the right questions and really deciding, do you want it? Because a lot of times we say we want it. And my grandmother used to say to me, everybody knows what they don't want. Very few people know what they want. So when it goes, they'll say what they don't want. I don't want this. I don't want that. But when you have to sit with the question, but what do you want? And now that we've established what you want, are you willing to do what it takes to get it?
I'm trying to tell you, you better get your shovel. Okay, that right there, that's one of them. Okay, right. Now, between so all of the Go Financial initiatives, right? With that said, and even what your personal journey, a lot of the things center around community, right? In the If you're watching this, don't get it misconstrued. When I say community, community lives in a couple different spaces. So you can be in a business community. It's not like it's singular there. But a lot of the things you do center around the impact of community and literally either pouring in or or locking into the network. Why is that so important to you to always kind of help build others in groups and whatnot?
Well, I believe in leading from contribution. So if I can help you grow, then I know I'm going to grow, right? So there is a selfish piece to it. If I help you grow, I know I'm going to grow. If I make you a millionaire, if I make several millionaires and I just get a piece of that, I'm going to be able to be successful. And I'm competitive. I'm very competitive. So I have a charge. How many people am I going to be able to give this key to? And key, knowledge empowers you. So first starting with the knowledge, taking the steps, and then the action.
There it is. Listen, it leading through contribution, and I didn't even ask you to check your pockets when I said when she said contribution. She talking about sweat equity. All right, sometimes you gotta get it in to help other people win. I love it. I love it. I love it. This has been such an awesome conversation. I like to ask all of my guests this. Okay, very curious what you'll say, but I'm going to ask you if you had to give advice to your younger self in 2025. So what that means is there's a younger version of you, but it's still 2025 and all the 2025 things, and this is a weird year. What advice would you give to a younger version of yourself that's living in this year?
I would tell my younger self, continue to break the rules. The reason being is rule breakers make history on both sides. I would also tell my younger self that your voice is worth being heard. You just may not be in the right rooms yet.
Yeah, listen. I will ask it. Why is that the information that you would share?
Because when I was younger, well, first I'll start with in second grade, I was told that I was special needs. I have dyslexia. And I began to become very silent in confidence, not knowing the right word to pick, how I seen the words float off the page. Shout outs to my dad for not allowing me to walk into a title of being less than. Now, how he did it was very unorthodox because he went to the school and told them people, y'all not going to embarrass me and let her catch that short bus. But it was also very powerful in the fact that he was like, yo, you can do this. And having to figure out how to not shrink. When you're fighting against somebody telling you you're not enough, you can't know, you don't understand, but you're willing to do the research to know. Because the truth is, I didn't know. It takes me a lot of time to read. I have to read things 3 and 4 times. I have to have things read to me, still to this day, in order to be successful.
Wow. Listen, so again, you ain't got no excuses in the back. Like if you in the back, you got no excuses. Listen, because it is what it is now. So let's read it 3 or 4 times to catch up to her. That's all I'm saying. And she's competitive, so she already out of here. But I appreciate that, and I do think that I appreciate. Thank you for sharing your story. Those are the things that is so inspirational for people to know, right? And to understand of where you can actually go, what you can achieve, and what you can do. And that there are resources out there. That's a whole nother side. Like there's a whole nother conversation to be had that we just barked on. We ain't gonna do it, but there is. That's a whole world of resources to build yourself up, to help manage it, and never let them tell you no. That actual point, and I will point this out, goes into a lot of the things, including you getting your first house. So, right, it's the same principle of, well, she can't do it. Who can't? Next thing you know, she the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? With the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Doing GOAT things, all that. So, all right. Now, before I get up out of here, I like to tell people, if you give me a word, I'll give you a poem. Okay. So while you think of a word, I like to do what I call a quick hat tip. Blip, blip. What's a quick hat tip? Blip, blip. This is when I give shouts out and gratitude to some people that's doing some dope things. There's some dope things that have happened recently. So my first hat tip goes blip, blip. to the launcher program. Yes, the launcher cohort. I am a trainer for launcher. You're clapping. I hope you heard of it. We actually have just graduated this cohort. Shouts out to all of the trainers involved. Shouts out to all the new entrepreneurs. Yes, Miss Cooper-Wells, I will be talking to you. Might need you to come talk to them or send some to you. We need to, so my next cohort can come to you. Maybe my last cohort. I don't know. But it's all for entrepreneurs that are all starting their businesses. So shouts out to all the classes in I had to claim my class, so special place in the heart for y'all. But everybody who made it through the program, 14 weeks of training. If you are an entrepreneur and you're watching this, go to launcherde.org. They sign up, walk you through your business plan, right? Get your things in order, right? So then when you come to see her, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier in life. But again, shouts out to Launcher and everything with that as well. Also, hat tip, blip, blip, to Kristen Bowen. She is the director of Launcher, but she also has a book release coming tomorrow. Yeah, listen, wrote her story out. Okay, if y'all don't know, listen, go and get it. Kind of pouring out her pain through her story, and everything is super relatable to people who have been through some things. But listen, that book it's on Amazon now, but you can buy it tomorrow for bestsellers list. I ain't got nothing to do with that, but it's there. Okay, so hat tip to her. I feel like your book is coming. I feel like, and not your business book. You got your business book out there, by the way. If you when you go to follow Miss Alicia Cooper-Wells, there is a book to help you get your money right. But I feel like would you write a book on your personal story?
Not while my parents are living.
Fair. I'm not asking no more questions about that because I completely understand. But my next hat tip goes to, okay. Woo, I want to say it was like last Friday or the Friday before, the amount of things happening. DJ Sean Classic, live at the Opulent, Delaware Music Network represented that. It was shouts out to Sean Classic. Shouts out to Gretchen Emery Band. She had her album released. Listen, new album out. Go and cop that. Go and listen to it. Gretchen Emery with everybody. Harvey Road was performing. That was a vibe. Also, La Casa Day, Songbird the Goddess was at Bootleg Stageworks. I believe it might have been the last time for Bootleg Stageworks is doing some things, so they shut it down. They did a great job. Shout out to La Casa Day and Songbird the Goddess, and also shout out to Sunday Blue. He was over at Docklands. Listen, so outside been outsiding, essentially. Okay, outside has been outsiding. So I got to tip my hat again. Sean Classic, Gretchen Emery, La Casa Day, Harvey Rose, Songbird, all of them. Blip, 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 blip. Now, only a few more left. I got to give a quick hat tip to the MSK Community Center. Now, I don't know if you know. Have you been to the MSK Community Center?
I have. My daughter taught a class there, MIT Academy, Millionaires in Training.
Right though. Shout out to the MSK, Miss Charlotte Miller Lacey, even Randall Love had me come up there. I was reading to the kids, had me reading to the youths. Okay, so that's what you saw on the story, reading to the youths. Going out there, go and get yourself something. It's a great place, a great program for the kids.
Take your
just to help them.
donations in for personal items, especially you ladies. They're always looking for feminine products, deodorant, pads. You can order from Amazon and have it shipped right there. So do your part.
Absolutely. And if you need some, go get some help. They got it there for you. That's why it's there. Both the things. So go ahead. And last but not, well, no. And also, hat tip. Blip, blip. Jason and Valence, sucker-free vegan, socially wasted. They did a random community get together at the Green Box on Memorial Day. Just randomly was like, had creatives all about. Just come through, food was there, music was there. It was a vibe. So shouts out for them to throw in a community get together. And I talked to Jason about it. He said just to look out for more collaborations. I love a great artists and humans collaborating together. Shouts out. And if you've never been to Wilmington Green Box, get yourself a juice. It's delicious. Now, last but not least, my hat tip goes to you. The amazing, the amazing Alicia Wells Cooper, who started out with intentions of helping people and building herself and creating community, and has done that several times over. So I'll give you a quick hat tip, blip blip, for all that you do. Thank you. Is there anybody you want to give a hat tip to?
I want to give a hat tip to those that were commenting on here. Lake Photos. If you guys need your photos, your headshots, capturing that right moment, he definitely got you. So look in the caption for that. Ashley M. Cooper. If you need support, is making your decisions, she can come in and teach classes on decision making, but she's also known for Droneversity. So if you need your part 107 license to become a drone pilot, definitely reach out to her as well. Miss Leah is on here. She is helping in the pageant space, helping young women build their confidence, and supporting them even as entrepreneurs. She had my daughter and I as judges, where she did a youth pitch contest. So shout out to those of you who joined this live.
Absolutely. Hat tip to all of y'all. Blip blip. I said blip blip. Now, and also, while we're still in the hat tip section, you want to so your child has a business.
Yes.
Shameless plug it.
So if you are interested in helping your child build confidence, public speaking, learning laws and principles to anchor onto as they go through the journey of becoming young adults and advocating for themselves, teaching them how to advocate for themselves within the school district, check out MIT Academy, which is academymit.com. Millionaires in Training to her. And she's also a dog washer at Marley and Me on Market Street. So if any of you who have pets and you're in Wilmington or in the surrounding areas of Wilmington, Delaware, check out Marley and Me right on Market Street downtown. Ask for Madison. She's the best dog bather they have.
That's right. And listen, she got 2 jobs. She got 2 jobs. Hard working out here. Hard working. Talk about it. Oh, in case you don't know, you're watching Hats Off with your boy G-Jones. Again, listen, like, follow, share, all the things. We on YouTube. Now, I'm also on Roku. We'll be on WJBS. I'm outside, so go and follow me. Check me out. Shouts out to all those entities. Now, as I said, if you give me a word, I'll give you a poem. You got a word for me?
I do. So I will be turning 41 on Friday. My word is 41.
41. Okay. I'm thinking. All right. So if you ask me how I feel about the game, I'm going to tell you that 41. Like, see, most people choose to complain, but they don't understand what I mean until I'm done. Let me tell you what's happened since the time begun. You can choose to watch the clock. I'm not talking about for the next shot. What I need you to do is keep your eyes peeled and pull out your pen, take notes to jot. See, this is how I knew I wasn't meant to stop. Oh, because when they told me I had to retire, I knew that really meant that my mind wasn't going to expire. Instead, I was on fire. Yes, I was getting hot. When they said it's a lot easier if I rely on them, I didn't know that for me to be reliant, I had to be a little bit more self-reliant, but not necessarily always compliant. I just needed to understand what it's like to be on the shoulders of a giant and know that help can come my way. I just can't deny it. See, this is when I know how to receive everything that it was supplied. It's telling me that 41. See, I'm not asking you to keep score or to look for the next moment for you to ignore, or when they ask you, hey, what do you need this help for? You to feel like, I don't even know what I have in store. No, what you have is yourself to restore. Don't allow yourself to lose so much trust that you choose to give up, but understand that you need help, and sometimes you have to reach down to give a hand up. Yes, see, this is where we don't realize how much it takes for us to give of us. This is how we realize that honestly, sometimes you gotta attend the academy so you can learn what you're supposed to be, so that you can increase what they will judge as your reliability. See, this is not me saying this for me. This is how I can tell you that 41. Okay, it's not just an age base, but it can be an age basis, because so many times we went through so many things that have changed the spirit behind our faces. So many times we expected judgment to disgrace us. So many times that we thought those who were behind were meant to outpace us, that we don't realize that those lines we drew around us were boundaries, and sometimes we were born with the erasers. Sometimes you have to be prepared to pull a hamstring or two, re-heal to then be a dream chaser. See, this is when I can tell you it's still only begun. We only in the first quarter, and 40 has already won. Oh.
Awesome.
Okay, that was for you. This has been an awesome conversation. Again, shouts out to you for joining in dropping so many gems. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
I just want to say, make sure you don't quit. Don't quit. It's hard. Don't run from hard. Be willing to understand that life is actually really simple. It's not easy. So be committed to the hard so that it can get easier along the way.
Gems on the end, just gems everywhere. She can't help it. Okay, you're around her long enough. You're picking up some gems. All right, thank you again for joining the show. This has been phenomenal. This has been an episode of Hats Off with your boy G-Jones. I will see you next week. As I like to always say, love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. I holla.